Yes, Nigerian people, greetings to you all and welcome to the Comrade Show. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriahi, and of course, I have with me another musketeer of the Comrade Show. If you're out there, the biggest news today is that the presidential elections 2023 is still very much ongoing. And yesterday was actually the big day where the election actually took place. Unfortunately, the election has continued because of discrepancies in some areas that INEC had to ask that the election should continue today. Meanwhile, right at Abuja, INEC is waiting to start the collation of results based on what came out yesterday. And some people have asked, what results are they collating, particularly when the entire airspace, the entire internet space is flooded with news of discrepancies from Lagos to Bayelsa to Rivers State to Edo State to Delta State through Kogi State to some other states in another part of Nigeria. News of malpractices here and there, and not just news. People are coming out with very hard, evidence here and there to show that actually some of these things may be true. It's not our place to determine what is true, really, or what is not true. I always say that, just like the Benis would say, that when lie resembles truth, sometimes you are bound to believe. The thing we can speak to very, evidently and confidently are the things that, we can verify happen, under our nose, and we have some of those tales. So the question is, why we have worked very hard for an election that should be reasonably free, reasonably fair, and reasonably credible. The question really is, can we adjudge this election to be free, fair, and credible? On that note, I want to welcome my brother, obedient pharmacist Austin Iremian. Pharmacist Iremian, you are welcome to the show, my bro.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lante Raki, GCO, Grand Commander, Order of the Obedient. Just before I make any comment, I want to thank you very much on the Comrade Show and indeed all our viewers yesterday for holding forth more than 13 hours on the clock. The Comrade Show, headed by yourself and our many volunteers, were on ground to monitor, give report and feedback on that election. It was really, really a very busy day. And I think what we did is of seismic proportion. So on that note, I want to say congratulations. And I don't know if time will permit, let me just dive into the situation of the moment. Today is supposed to be the morning after the election. But you agree with me that it can be termed the morning in the election. Because as it is said, the election is a continuous process. And INEC is saying that those areas where there were no voting yesterday, voting will continue today. And then just before we came on air, I think the INEC chairman also said that they're going to start collation of results in Abuja. But as I speak, I know nothing of that has happened. But I want to salute the courage, the tenacity, and the resilience of all obedient, and by extension, all Nigerians who came out yesterday in the face of hot sun, rain, challenges, difficulty, mayhem, wahala, everything, to defy everything but to come out and cast their votes, because that is a very important responsibility. We've often said that 2023 is going to be a watershed moment, and you agree with me that no matter what happened, yesterday, February 25, we go down in history of Nigeria as a watershed moment, and I believe a day that will set the Thames on fire for Nigeria going forward. And I will always say, just to echo the words of Peter Obi, a new Nigeria is indeed possible. And somebody has also advised me, it's no longer possible, it's upon us.
Thank you so much. On the heels of being a watershed moment, a new Nigeria indeed is possible. Of course, I will agree with that yesterday truly was a watershed moment because it's an ongoing process. But one thing I must salute is that for the first time since 1999, Nigerians were truly resolute. We did not experience anything like voter apathy. What we had yesterday was Nigerians coming out in their numbers in very strong resolve that in this election, in this time, in this season, they will make a statement that will be remembered very long in the history of this country. And that is what Nigerians did. And that is what, for me, classifies as that watershed moment that indeed that we've talked about, over and over again. Nigerians did come out, we did make some statements. And to be very honest, if no matter how the eventual result of this election, no matter how it goes, I really would always salute the resoluteness of Nigerians. We would always remember that each time Nigerians are resolved, to make a statement, they do it without looking back. And that is what happened in this election. And so kudos to Nigerians. Unfortunately, I started by laying reports of widespread reported discrepancies here and there. To me, it is to the extent that some of these discrepancies, they were visible even to the blind. Austin Iremira, do we have reasons to be faithful and hopeful, believing that the will of the people will still carry the day?
Thank you so much, Comrade Show. My immediate reaction is just to support the clarion call by the chairman of Labour Party Nigeria, Barrister Abure, saying that this election should be cancelled. I stand with that statement unless INEC change the drift. But how will that drift be changed is a difficult question. I think for many years, we've always blamed the Nigerian voters that they don't come out to vote. But yesterday witnessed another dimension. The voters came out to vote. They came out early. Even in the face of delay, they were willing to wait. And they waited and ensured that they cast their vote. But unfortunately, the albatross, INEC, seems to be the one that is now involved in this process of not making it to be smooth. They are supposed to be the umpire, but the umpire has become something else. Granted, over 90 million people registered for this election. Ranging from the time from collecting PVC, we had few issues, but we kept believing that the right thing will be done. INEC promised. In fact, INEC overpromised and underdelivered. And that raised the hope of Nigerians. And we heard so much about Beaver, the by voter system that will curb all sorts of election irregularities. But what we now see from information featuring in, these machines were not even used, because at the point where we need to nip things at the board, that's where we start having problems. Not from voters, but from INEC, the umpire itself, and the authority. The reason why Beavers was introduced was that because in time past, when elections are done, results are manipulated. But this process was meant to impute those results into the system. So much so that even if it's deleted, a good IT system will also be able to bring that information that has been imputed. But alas, Comrade Lamte, that was not done. So to that extent, I will agree in very, very strong terms. In my view, and based on situation report, I think INEC have been compromised. And my reasons are as follows. One, elections of that magnitude, with huge amount of money already given, and the chairman of INEC and indeed all other headship or leadership of INEC realizing the tremendous importance of this election, should have taken everything purely to tax. I am a strong sticker for time, and something very important. It bothers me that even up to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, in some areas as reported, INEC officials did not show up. And I also heard that even when they showed up, they also complained of not having materials for the election. Materials as simple as even the stamp where you used to do your thumb. Some also complained that they didn't have pen. That is very sad. So logistically, that's a big failure. And when you're supposed to start an event about 9 o'clock and you come few minutes late, you are even jittery, not talk of coming late, hours and hours upon hours. And INEC promised us that the only way to nip this in the bud is to upload. Second phase of my reaction, they came late. People waited, no problem. They voted. The results are now counted. Upload it became a problem. Reports that they were able to upload the House of Rep and Senate, but that of presidency, which is the big elephant in the house, they could not upload. I even saw a video where a gentleman went to his house because they said the power bank in the machine has gone off. He brought a generator, he put it on and began to charge it. So these are, and when these fillers start coming, one would ask, what was headquarters doing? Not to talk of the palpable evidence we can see where hoodlums, especially in places like Lagos and Rivers, came to the polling unit to beat up people. Few days ago, just in the beginning of the week, we saw trailer load of security men, armed forces, driving into Lagos. I want to ask, where were these men when this information was going around? So everything put together, I think there is a grand conspiracy by INEC and the power that be to not make this election happen. But I am here to assure all Nigerians, and indeed every obedient, our vote indeed must count. And to also say that there are reports and results in the hands of everybody. There are polling agents everywhere who have got this result. So any attempt or group of attempt to change this, to change the result, I think INEC is going to meet with a very fierce battle from the populace. If they have, my simple advice would be, let us cancel the election and reschedule a date for a new one.
Yes, you've made lots of points. We're just going to try to see how much of these points we would analyze. Ordinarily, to be very fair, leading to this election, INEC gives so many assurances. I just want to remind Nigerians, INEC told us, we are departing from the old ways of elections. We are using beavers. They built confidence into beavers, and we embrace the confidence, believing very strongly that our vote will count. And part of what we told us is that, accreditation will be done with beavers and will be uploaded to the INEC server. Part of what they told us are the result from the polling unit will be uploaded directly to the INEC server. People even raise the question, suppose there is no network, what happens? They told us that even network will not stop the uploading from beavers to the INEC server. At the end of the day, collation of paper, ballot papers and result sheets will just be formality. They will just be for the records to confirm with what is already in the INEC server from the polling unit, which means, I'm just laying a foundation, which to me means that if any of these things fails to happen, in any center where they fail to happen, that center should be immediately invalidated, as that center should and cannot be recognized as election, where election, had taken place, as it were. But today, what we are reporting, or what we are getting from everywhere, is that in some centers, they are able to upload without hitches the result of the Senate election into the Senate, the result of the House of Reps. When it comes to the presidency, where the presidency that made Nigerians troop out, the results were unable to be uploaded. At that point, beavers failed to work in very many places as reported. I have this video to show us where Nigerians were very resistant, demanding the INEC staff to upload results. Take a listen.
But this man is from Owa now, and he has been playing us since 4 o'clock that the network is not good. And we are this is what 7 at month in the Ghana local government. And Labour Party won with a very large margin, which they have not been able to upload results, telling us that they want to take this stuff back to Owoibo. so that they will be able to upload it. But with the youth of Akumazumocha has refused that he is no longer going to be business as usual. He should upload it today in our present. But he has refused that, telling us different stories from network to this. We've even shared data to him, and at the end of the day, he has not been able to do anything. We Akumas people have said that he will remain here, which the DPO that they sent to come and monitor all the election stuff going on in Akumazumocha in Ekano has.
It looks like we are not getting the video.
Yeah, we got the audio, but not the video.
Oh my God! Oh, apologies. Maybe we'll try to upload that again. But it's just one of the many reports that that did come in. It's not an isolated one. It came out from different places, different people reporting that staff of INEC that was supposed to be helping to organize these elections, they were refusing to upload the results. So many reports. I mean, there's so many. I want to see if this thing is able to come out the second time. Just confirm.
This man is from Owa now, and he has been playing us since 4 o'clock that the network is not good.
I want to apologize if that is not a showing. Anyhow, I think the point I was trying to make is that is one. They are unable to upload results to the INEC server. Now INEC has not given us explanation why that would happen, and they've not told us what will happen if that is the case. Pharmacists, I just want you to react to this first and foremost. Why do you think this happened seriously in Lagos? It happened seriously in Rivers State. It happened in areas in Delta states. Why do you think that would be? This is on top of these officials, having arrived at their polling units very late. In some cases, they came very late and they wanted to leave very early, particularly in Lagos. Why do you think this would be, to be honest?
Yeah, thank you very much, Comrade Mosaraki. To say that this was not expected, I think I will be wrong. The only difference is that I didn't expect it to be in this scale. Lagos, Rivers, and some part of Delta State, you agree with me, within the southern hemisphere of Nigeria, is a battleground because you know what Lagos is to Nigeria, and one of the presidential aspirants is a strong person from Lagos. Rivers, we know the story with Wike and his story with PDP, and information reaching us say that he has advised that all Rivers State people should give their vote to the aspirant from Lagos. And of course, Delta State is another big oil-rich state where you have the vice presidential candidate being a stalwart and the current governor of that state. So you would expect all this. And I also want to relate it to what happened a few weeks ago. Remember when the cash redesign became an issue? These two governors, or these governors, former and present, reacted very negatively. Wike was very, very upset. And of course, the APC presidential candidate led by the APC PPC were also upset. So when you put all of them together, you see that there's been a grand plan to cause this to happen. So I was not surprised. I was only surprised at the scale of this manipulation. Like I said, I'm a sticker for time. And what happened yesterday is historic. So if it's historic, if I was going to be an INEC official that day, I wouldn't even sleep. I will go very early to make sure I do my stuff. So, Comrade Lante, I think that we are looking for a better way to manipulate the system. Like I said, INEC overpromised. And having overpromised and reassured us that Beavers was the solution to our many problems, it became clear that the only way to do this is to either disrupt the election by way of not coming early or coming late or not bringing materials, or by way of using talks to disrupt the entire process. And like I always say, Comrade Lante, if politics is for service, why do I need to pay to get in? I'm coming to work for you. Why should I pay? But of course, politics in our country has now become a source of employment and trade. I've got so many friends. When I talk to them about Atiku and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the reasons they give me sometimes is something you cannot say on air. The reason they give are not really for the benefit of our great country. And not until we start seeing beyond that, we're not going to move anywhere. The country is in a state of absolute jeopardy at the moment, I tell you. Because somebody is saying, let's allow the result to have been released before we make complaints. That's fair enough. That's very correct. Whatever we are saying now is speculatory. But it is the vacuum that has been caused by the proposed plan on ground that's causing problem. We were not supposed to be in this situation. The first election yesterday in Nigeria ended about 2 o'clock. And from what we heard, INEC server only started uploading stuff from 10 p.m., which means from the time of that first election to now is 6 hours. That was not what INEC promised. INEC said that it was going to go there immediately. And once you have once it's been signed by the party agent, it's uploaded immediately. The plan was not to go to local government or state collation center to be uploading. So when you begin to see all this inconsistency, you have no choice but to think otherwise and to worry. And what is also painful about it, Comrade Lampton, as we speak to you, INEC has not really addressed that issue. So if they have not addressed that issue, it means that there is a problem. INEC has not really spoken to any issue concerning delay, why there was delay, why Beavers was not uploaded, why it's working for senatorial seats and not working for presidential seats, but working for House of Rep seat. The same Beavers in a particular place. Is there a special network, or was there a special network for presidency and another network for senatorial, another network for House of Rep? It leaves a very sour taste in the mouth, realizing that a few weeks ago, the chairman of INEC was in Chatham House and he praised so glowingly the effectiveness of the machine and said in very clear terms the preparedness of INEC. So it is rather sad. The enemies are about to plunge us into where we don't want to. But I will tell Nigerians, let us stay focused, let us remain resolute. And I always say, in a place where you have voted, if another result comes out, that will not be possible because people will cry out. We voted and we counted this result. INEC have their own agent. All the parties, they have their agent as well. Or anything that is uploaded has to have the signature of the party agent in that polling unit. So I think they are just delaying justice. If they come out clean, then the best thing will be, like I said, painfully, let us cancel the election and call for a re-election. Every vote indeed must count. Many people have been prevented from voting. That's their citizens' responsibility, and it has to be done. So the case in point, Lagos, Rivers, and Delta State, you agree with me, they have a real dog in the fight, and they want to go all out. And that's the reason why you saw that wanton destruction of the process.
Thank you. I want to show you something. I hope this one is able to play.
And the funny thing is that the results that they are bringing from this, kò tiẹ̀ sí wọ́n fi lélẹ̀ ìgbà tá ti kúrò ń bẹ̀. Iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe yẹn is ìdí iṣẹ́ yẹn iṣẹ́ yẹn.
ṣèṣèjọ́ sọ pé ṣèbá ni pé ọkọ̀ àti kò mú un lọ sí kó lọ mú.
Beavers, yes.
Why are you talking like this now?
Ẹgbọ́n nǹkan tó ń sọ, he's actually telling you facts.
We were searching for you. You went into hiding. Now.
And then gbogbo àwọn Tipex don Tipex everywhere. Kò lọ. No, it's the truth. Kò lọ. Yes, the thing he's doing is wrong because we are seeing the results here and not the results we had at the polling unit. And he needs to stop what he's doing because he's now entering everything into the master sheet for the Beavers. Yes. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀ ń ṣe yìí sí ó ti wà invalid already. Now lórí Beavers and then gbogbo result tó enter sí láti gbàtà ká tó wá síbi àti ṣe now.
Just 2 units láti ṣe ń gbà yẹn.
Yes, then wọ́n wá missing gbogbo result tó enter bí it's not what happened at the polling units. kò lọ ẹ jẹ́ àti ẹ̀ ṣe báyìí ẹ jẹ́ à lo beavers ẹ jẹ́ à lo beavers.
ẹ máa gbọ́.
No, but it's the truth. Òótọ́ ló ń sọ because wọ́n ti change result. Ẹ wò ó náà wọ́n ti change result. Gbogbo ẹ̀ a ti ń wò pé gbogbo kíní yìí ń sìn irọ́ ni. Gbogbo ẹ̀ irọ́ ni. Yes, we do.
Bring it out and compare it with what is on the ground.
It doesn't matter. The beavers has the result. Let's go and get the beavers. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni kò tó ṣe é sìn kò lọ. What he's doing now is not correct. He's entering manual results and it's not what we did at the polling units. They are entering manual results and it's not what we did at the polling units. And he's entering it into the master sheets. And he's doing it from look at all the TPEX that are in C. And they expect us to keep quiet about it. We told him to get the beavers machine. Let's start entering from the beavers, which is what we started doing from the other polling units. He says no. But look at all the TPEX we are seeing.
Former Sister Remira.
Thank you so much. You see,
that has come viral. That was broad daylight. That is supposed to be a world collation center, and this happened. They were tipexing, what's it called, result sheets and all of those things. But before you respond, we have a caller. Let me just quickly say to all our viewers, please, if you want to call and contribute, probably share your experience, or experiences, you can call in. The number is right there, on the screen. You can take the number and just call in and take a minute or two to tell us what you have experienced or what you are hearing, what you think. Yes, hello.
Yeah, hello, this is OJ from Geneva. Thank you guys for keeping this up, and thank you for your work yesterday. I just wanted to say that, of course, we are all worried that the whole thing is being delayed, especially the result. But I think the Labour Party chairman was too much in a hurry to speak the way he did, because we are not sure yet what will come out. Of course, it's not the right result, but we don't know to what extent they have tampered with it. So to just come out outrightly to say they are rejecting that result, it's a bit too early. I would suggest they should have said that we will wait until when the result is finally released. Then from there they can make a clear statement on whether or not they are going to accept it.
Yes.
That's my position. Thank you.
Thanks for calling, my brother. I agree most of the nation. We're actually coming to that. I strongly agree with you, though.
No, but Comrade Lamte, I want to thank, I think his name is OG from Gilliam.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to say that I strongly disagree with him anyway. I think...
To be honest with you, bro, we don't have to agree on everything. I do agree very strongly with him.
Yeah, to be frank...
You know why? The reason why I agree with the caller is this. I was going to come to that, though. The reason why I agree with the caller is this. First, we've seen lots of things. Okay? Nigeria as a state, the constituencies are much. I told you privately that I want to hope and believe that where these disparities took place, will not overwhelm the other places where at least the right things were done. We still have places across Nigeria where the right things were done. We still have reports, amidst all of this, where people came out to, confirm and affirm that they voted, and election results, they were uploaded to the annex server, and everything was hitch-free. So we have those reports too, and mixed all of these things. So it's quite possible too that where these things happen may not eventually overwhelm the entire space. So why we call for these areas where this things happen, for probably, I think we have a right to call that this place will be cancelled and probably election, rearranged for these areas. But to call out and say the entire election should be cancelled may not, maybe too early for the Labour chairman to do.
Yeah, but Comrade Lamte, I want to disagree with yourself and the caller on this note. I think, like you've always said, our country is full of magic. And when something has gone wrong, it's good to call it out. I think sometimes, Comrade Lamte, the best way to defend is to attack. And I think that calling for cancellation by the chairman has further put INEC under more pressure if they were thinking that some of us will be taken for fools. I think it's very correct because they failed in their promise. Comrade Lamte, is over 24 hours that this election has taken place. Not even one polling unit result has been officially declared. So it calls for some form of concern. I stand with Abure in that. Let me also tell you, Comrade Lamte, if a new Nigeria is possible, a new Nigeria that will come out clean, we want whosoever wins to be proud that he has won. And let me also tell you, Comrade Lamte, if Obi is declared president today, PDP will not be happy. They will go to court. APC will not be happy, and vice versa, because the process has already been compromised. We want a very clean process. We are complaining of Imo State. We don't want this election to be decided on ground of technicality and judicial processes. We want it to be decided by the Nigerian people. I worry for so many people that could not vote. I'm also speaking for them. So, because even if the result comes out, APC has another result and they might start saying different things and PDP will be saying different things. And to react to that video that you played, the lady has also released another video this afternoon saying that her life is in danger and she's being called and threatened that she will be killed. We haven't heard any information about that. We don't know if the security men are already aware that he is trying to do that. So there is a whole lot going on.
Would this be
in Lagos?
The video is just blank.
The video showing us how INEC officials were manipulating our results.
All our videos are blank today.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to say, as we go through this process, for all our viewers, please, if you have any form of pictorial or video evidence of what happened in your polling unit yesterday, please make sure you keep it safe because there will be lots of evidences. And I hear that the Labour Party headquarters are collating all the videos. So if you have any and you know of any strong Labour Party person, please send it to them, or you can send it to the Comrade Show and we will try and forward it to the headquarters of the Labour Party, because we need real evidence. My calling for cancellation supporting Abure is just because I want a very clean process. Whosoever wins, let us win and win very well, not with abnormalities.
Okay, we have lots of other issues, Comrade pharmacists. I want to show you these. I hope that this video we're able to get this image clearly.
Okay, hello Nigerians. Please take this very, very serious. Something is happening right now.
You can see the
something is happening.
video.
Please take it very serious and send this thing as quickly as possible. We are done in our polling units. We've done every processes. We followed up from beginning to the end. The results have been counted and computed. And just we are clear. You could see I've already sent the results. Right now, there's a code they're supposed to use to send the results to the server. So they will enter that code in the beavers and send it to the server. Right now, all of a sudden, they say they are looking for the code. And they are looking for it everywhere. You can see me. It's falling. Rain is falling where I am now. You know, rain I'm actually that Aso Metama Drive area. That's where the polling unit is. Rain is falling, and I've been on that rain looking for this paper everywhere. They've not found this paper. And another colleague from the other polling unit, after our own, called again and said something is happening there. That they are also looking for the paper to send for the code to send this thing to the server. And they said if they don't find it, they should bring the beavers to INEC. If this device leaves to INEC, everything can happen. Everything will be changed. We are very sure of that.
Comrade Pharmacists, Lagos. This is part of this was part of those many things that characterized Lagos yesterday.
No, I think that was in Maitama.
Yes, yeah. No, okay, this is Abuja. Okay, yeah, Maitama, Abuja. But we had lots of stories, like this from Lagos. Okay, where different excuses, were given about beavers. about beavers. I am very, very much concerned about Lagos and Rivers State, most especially, because what happened in Rivers State happened to be even more widespread than Lagos. That's, you know, they in fact they could not upload in one, or at least a whole local government could not upload. They were asked to come to the state collating center for this is to be entered manually and all of that. Now, the question I want to ask, because all of these things contravenes what INEC told Nigerians. What INEC said, and I'm quoting INEC on this, is that when we vote, as a matter of fact, they came out lately before the elections to tell us that not even the results alone will be sent to the server. That even accreditation, after accreditation, you know, accreditation will be sent to the server. So INEC will be aware of people that are accredited at various polling units. And they will compare that with the result that will come out from various polling units. But at the end of the day, all of these things, you know, eventually played against INEC, not against the people. Now, I'm just getting the report just before we started this broadcast that in very many of the polling units, that the result sheets that were given to the polling units were actually fake result sheets. And that the agenda, you know, was to collect that fake result sheets, manipulate it at the collation center where, you know, only the manipulators will have access to, and send the original result sheet they are holding and send that one to INEC. Why they will just use the fake one to get the data. Now, I cannot independently verify any of these, but they are out there. So I don't know, how do you respond to this, and what is your immediate response, and what do you think the solution would be? I mean, bearing in mind that what we are still hoping for is that the will of the people should eventually carry the day.
Thank you very much, Comrade Araki. You see, one thing bothers me at the moment: the non-communication from INEC. Because if we've got all this information, INEC have got it as well. But they haven't come out to debunk it or to say anything to the contrary. So we are speaking to ourselves because we have not heard from them. But the fact that they have not responded also make it even worse and make us begin to think otherwise. When processes are not followed for something this important, Comrade Lamty, you have no choice but to begin to worry. It was told to us very clear that we don't even need any form of collation. This IT system will do the magic. We can even send information of accredited voters. Once it's signed, you take a picture and you upload it. All these were all done and said. And Komelante, we are not talking of my village. We are talking of Lagos and Maitama, where you would expect that at least there will be little or no problem concerning network. So something really has gone wrong. But that something that has gone wrong remains a very big question, because the elephant to answer that question has not come out openly to tell us the reason for these problems, to tell us the reason for the failure. We were assured on countless number of times by the INEC chairman that beavers will work, that the internet, everything has been sorted. And Comrade Lamte, you agree with me that when you use that machine to take anything and you send it, even if it doesn't go, it remains in the hardware or software of that machine. And any decent IT person can crack it and bring it forward. You've also said something just now people have said about fake result sheets. I hope that is not true. But if that is true, what can you say? It means that even before the process started, the process, of course, have been compromised. That's why I said INEC has got a whole lot of answers to give us to all these very difficult, heartbreaking questions that we are asking. And because INEC has not started releasing results, it's difficult as well. Somebody just posted on our chat that INEC has started releasing results. So what we just need to do is to start comparing notes to see, because I know all the party headquarters monitoring this election, they get all the results even before us. So we have to start comparing notes. But what I would not like for a country of over 250 million people or 200 million people it will not be good for our fate to be decided by the court. It's on that ground that I'm saying that if we cannot come up clean, it's better for us to do a re-election, proper one, where all these teething problems will be addressed and our vote will count. Anybody that becomes victorious on the premise of a sincere vote, fair and credible election, that person will stand up high to say, I won. And even if you lose, you will go and congratulate the person. Can you imagine? This is what century are we now? Going to the 22nd century, and in the era of IT, in a country where you have IT ubiquitous, everybody has got phones, and you are saying that over 24 hours we still cannot call this election and declare a result. It leaves more to be desired.
Take a listen if you can see this.
This is Fumi from Alimo Show. See, we are in local government, and these people have started beating us here. They're beating some of our people. They're beating most of our people there. They're beating some of our people there. They are started though. They are beating us. They are beating us here. They are beating us. They are injuring us here. Please, we need people to come to our rescue. Please come to our rescue.
Can you imagine?
It was quite abrupt. It's so much intimidation. I just showed that because there were widespread intimidation. As a matter of fact, there's a particular video where this guy, MC Oluomo in Lagos, was threatening people. There was a video where electorate could not access their polling unit. They were told they are Igbos and that they cannot be allowed to come in there and all of that. So many things happened. We covered some of these things live on the Comrade Show. So I'm just trying to, point out some of these things that we know, very disturbing situations characterizing parts of this election and all of that. I missed all of these. Even though we want to go for a rerun, have another election, are there guarantees at all? Because reasonably, if credible information come out about this like this, one would expect, INEC to okay, we are seeing some results alert already, where Tinubu is declared winner in this Ekiti with 20,000 votes to Obi's 11,000 and Atiku 8,000. I'm just seeing that alert now. I'm sure this one is coming in from the Coalition Center. So on this note, pharmacist, because these results are already out there, the collation from the Coalition Center, I think I'm going to ask that we probably, round off with this broadcast and concentrate so that we can direct Nigerians to concentrate and try to watch, from the Coalition Center. I don't know what you think about that.
Absolutely, Comrade. I think it's the right thing to do so that we too can keep monitoring. But we need to assure Nigerians and all obedient that we should remain resolute. All the results you have, please keep it. All pictorial and video evidence that you have, please keep them, because I think this will become useful in the days and weeks ahead. But congratulations to Nigerians for standing tall, for coming out to be counted, because Nigerians really did well. I think INEC was overwhelmed. The issue of voter apathy was not around yesterday. Everybody came out because they wanted to do their civic duty and contribute to this whole process.
Yeah. So Nigerians, greetings to you. We're going to have to end this broadcast right here because right now the results are being collated and displayed, by INEC at Abuja. So we want to join them and make, collate our own observations. It is at the end of this result we'll be able to make, specific statements about this election. Like I have said, I want to hope and believe that the discrepancies that characterize different parts of this election would not overwhelm the entire nation. And probably let's hope that the eventual results, will outweigh whatever has happened, and hope that whatever in areas where these things happen, there will not be enough to affect or impact the final outcome of the election. Anyhow it is, we are going to look at all of these, analyze them. In our next broadcast, we'll come out and issue specific statement from our end. What I want to assure Nigerians is that even when the results are declared, I am sure that it's not going to end there. So many evidence are bound that I'm sure that we are going to, the labor hierarchy, the obedience movement we will be looking at. And of course, Peter Obi is a man that we know that has not really had it very easy when it comes to elections, but he's a man too who has equally, stood the test of time. You remember when he was governor of Anambra State, he was impeached, and reinstated by the court up to the Supreme Court on 2 occasions. So he sure has been through this before. I think what we need right now, what the labor movement needs right now, is those evidences right there in the hands of people, overwhelming evidences. If you cannot send it directly to the labor hierarchy, send it to the Comrade Show. You have our contact, send it to us through our Facebook, email, or wherever you can send it to. We to be sure it's going to get to where it's supposed to get to. So that we need to collect all of these evidences. At the end of the day, if all of the indices in the election they are looked into, and Labour considers the point of going to court, then some of this will be overwhelming. Very likely, the process of this election will be decided by court, and it's equally very likely that beyond Bayelsa, many other places will be cancelled for a rerun, very likely. But we are not speaking for INEC, but based on the things that have come out from the feed, these things are probably expected. In the light of that, I want to say a very big thanks to everybody that is with us. It's the Comrade Show. Subscribe to the Comrade Show if you are watching on YouTube, please. If you are on Facebook, just click follow and click the notification button. And don't forget to give us like and love and all of that. My name is Comrade Lamte Oriaki. It's been a Comrade Show. Pharmacist, thanks for helping to keep it flowing.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you so much. And congratulations to all obedient and all Nigerians for coming out en masse to vote yesterday. And
God bless you, Nigerians. Bye for now. We'll see you hopefully later today or some days after. Bye.
Make Comrade Show with Comrade Lamte Oriaki. This is the Comrade Show.